Okay, so I'm going to just go over my comments that I have not responded to as of right now. I'm just icing my leg, and then I was going to go out for a walk. Okay, so I can't believe that I have to go through this over and over and over again. Why do you believe? What evidence do you have to suggest that Tom really had a stroke? Where was that picture taken? Where is he now? Why aren't his kids at the hospital milking this for all they can? Why was Yvonne on TV pretending to cry? These people are all actors. I don't believe it. I already said in one of the first videos that I did, I said Lady C has to toe the royal family line. Do you really think that she's going to lose whatever little popularity she has with like the real royal family? I mean, I'm talking about the Queen, Charles, and I know she's invited there and stuff, but she's married some dude, or she's got some shit that goes back to Jamaica. I find her to be someone who is super smart and knows history, and I respect that. She's come out with some interesting tidbits here and there, and I enjoy listening to her. That's about it. Do I believe this? No. Why? I keep telling you guys why. I have an outline of thought that I'm bringing forth. First of all, what I do in my spare time and what I began doing back in 2015 is I began to pick apart various events that I thought were events, but suddenly, alas, they never happened. I put up videos, I try to do stuff concerning this, and what happens, I have it taken down. They don't necessarily give me a strike, but they just remove it. Because I'm actually not really doing anything wrong. I'm just mirroring somebody else's work. It's not, I'm not putting together the presentations, and I'm careful as to what I say. There's no reason. You have two reasons of schools of thought here, are different. Let's do this. Revelation of the method. I mean, if you can't go beyond, if you believe everything that's being reported to you right now, then you have cognitive dissonance and don't come to the channel. And P.S., by the way, I don't care if you sub to me or not, because I don't make any money. I don't even look at these numbers. YouTube will never, ever, ever let me get any further than a certain point, no matter what. I have two other channels that I post on. One of them I'm not posting until June, and the other one, I don't have enough traction for people, for me to be putting stuff out there, but I could. All right. I'm probably more intelligent people that come there. You guys just want to hear gossip and see pictures and laugh. Method, meaning, and revelation. It's the suppression. Okay, listen to this. Revelation of the method is the suppression of the counter argument, followed by the revelation of aspects of what really happened, but in a limited way after it's too late. For example, am I allowed to say this? Vaselines were declared harmless until Pfizer debased their own safety claims, but not before the entire world had been Vaselined. And it's just basically go into hidden works of darkness brought to public light. Introduction. The term revelation of the method was coined by the late James Shelby Downward to explain the alchemical processing of society by its Luciferian controllers. This is what I think. Again, I'm going to pick this apart. Thomas goes on worldwide television and announces that he's going to confront the Queen, Prince Charles, and all that. So if maybe you're from Great Britain, I don't know, Kathy with a C, who with this channel has no content. So you'll probably be back in another way, won't you? So, oh crap, I lost my entire train of thought. Okay, so the guy is coming. Meghan doesn't talk to him. She's not in contact with him. Okay, so let it go, is my point. Why would you be stressed out by someone that's not doing anything to stress you out? I mean, the whole letter thing and all that, that's fine, but then don't let it go. Just ignore it. Let it go. I don't know how that letter got out. I don't really know. It's copyrighted, written. There's a copyright on it. I don't know. He's been coming out, talking smack about his daughter on worldwide TV for a really long time. He has this staged event with this Carl dude, and now he's doing a channel with him. He hates the U.S. government in a conservative fashion. He is an extreme leftist that hated the man that was trying to save the country. And none of this shit would have been happening, by the way, if we would have just been allowed to keep going forward. But yet he loves the Queen and honors her and has pictures of her in his house with a Union Jack. There are 330 million people in the 40 now, in the U.S. Well, we've got tons of illegals, undocumented, migrants, if you will. They're here illegally. So, in my opinion, based on just this guess, just a guess, and okay, so you've got a lot of people here. 340, 350 mil. Most Americans aren't sitting around their kitchens, with pictures of the Queen and a Union Jack flag on display. And that's just weird. Then he's got this guy following. They're going back to Mexico, back to LA. They're going back and forth, crossing the border constantly. Then you have this picture that emerges in a 2-second video where the dude claims that he has a first massive stroke, then major stroke. His daughter says it's right-sided, but the symptoms that are stated in the news are those of a left-sided stroke. Then, earlier today, around 5 o'clock, 5:15 or so, my boss finally called me back. He had surgery on his hip. Okay, fine. And we had a good hour and a half conversation. We're very close. We're close friends and coworkers, and we've traveled abroad together. And he had a stroke, and he told me what happened. He said that he started to slur his words, and then he had some cognitive issues where he said that he was at the cafe with his daughter in the area he lives, and he was trying to figure out the bill, probably leave a tip or whatever. And he said he couldn't add or subtract numbers, and he started to become very confused. When he looked at numbers, they didn't register in his brain. Finally, and he said it kept up, and he finally went and had his wife take him to the hospital. And his daughter said, "Hey, Dad, you're slurring your words." So like the next day, he says he still feels unwell. Then goes to the hospital. And, he told me what happened. He had something to do with his carotid artery or something. He had some sort of, I don't really know if that's even related to the stroke. But the guy, quite frankly, he's not like a junk food eater. He's not overweight, and he's a swimmer. He is solid muscle, unbelievable. But he still had this anyway. He runs a worldwide business and also employs people as contractors. And he's pretty much works, I'd say every day. He's in the pool by 5:30 a.m. or working out with weights or whatever. And then he's pretty much at work all day. Plus, he's taking care of his grandson because his son kind of like just is unable to, and the wife insists that he does. So he's got all this stress on him. That I'd say, hang on, I've got to turn something off. Okay. All right, hang on, I'm coming. So now we're getting this guy. Okay. So he told me about his experience, and I'm going to talk to him a little bit more tomorrow and stuff like that. So basically, it's so bad that they can't even get the right symptoms down. It's so bad that this girl can't even cry. I could start thinking about my dad right now. And then plus, I've just been in and out of, do you know how frequently I am in and out of Fredert here? Let me show you this. Aerial views. And who can, and by the way, like what I have on my search bar, I do a lot of different research and a lot of different things all day long. And I listen to opinions from a lot of different people. I don't listen to mainstream news, so don't question who I have here, because someone questioned someone on the search bar. And it's sort of like, here's another thing. Let's see the pictures. And here it is. Okay, let me tell you. Here's the cancer center right here. And then there's a center for advanced care, and there's this, that, and the other. And let's see if we can find a. This is the cancer center right here. Okay. So yeah, I've spent many a day there. I've spent many an hour there. Usually when I had to take my dad there, there were, I'd say, when he was there for treatment once a week, it was usually about 8 hours, and usually everybody was gone, and I had to somehow, and we were like the last people there. So yeah, this is like right in front of the cancer center right here, I think. So let's see what else. So yeah, this is a huge hospital, the cancer center, and then you have I can't remember which entrance. Oh, this is the hospital entrance. They've changed it. And then here, if you go in through here, you have the emergency entrance in here, and then you have the children. I know every single inch of this place, and this is a surgery center back here, and parking garage and all that shit. So I worked in the OR for 20 years. I worked at a nursing home for 5 years. I was in nursing school. I got straight A's. I took care of stroke patients. Tom Markle did not have a stroke. Why wasn't the oxygen bag hooked up? Where were the IVs? Why didn't he have a gown on? The first thing they're going to do is and how are they going to lift this man? So they'd have to have if he had a massive stroke and had, all this damage and shit, how the fuck are they going to lift this guy? The first thing you always do is you put a lift sheet under someone. Or the lift, if you're in a bed or on a stretcher like that, you're going to have a lift sheet because he's going to have to be lifted from one to the other. And someone's going to have to get that man on a bed. And how is that going to happen? I mean, my dad was like, hardly weighed anything. And there's going to be at least a lift sheet or a Hoyer or something underneath him. He's going to have other symptoms other than being able to sit up and take both eyes and look directly into the camera. I believe he did that because he was trying to send a message to the people that told him to do this, because that's what I believe happened. I mean, we're talking about the British royal family, the Queen of England. He's talking about going over there and confronting her and Prince Charles. And he's going to see his grandchildren who do not exist. That girl was never pregnant. And I mean, it's just like, I get it if you're not into my videos and you tune out. And that's cool because I do the same thing. But it's like I cover all these issues. And I do it in a way that I'm not trying to attack him. I suppose I have, because he's so phony and so fake. And this is such a perfect example of the revelation of the method. And this man, no, he's not religious. He claims that he's an Anglican altar boy. No, he's not. Maybe, I don't know, but he's not a religious man. Neither is she. If he's that much of a good little altar boy, why didn't he baptize his daughter? Yeah, he sent her to private school, but it's run by Marxist nuns. You know, they're very leftist. You know, it's just, you know, and right now we're in the middle of a situation where the tables are turning. The tide is turning. What's happening is, if you're paying attention and you start to really pick things apart and you go to some of these channels that I have up here, you go to BitChute, you go to Odyssey, you start listening you go to Southfront, okay? The real war and what is happening, okay? You go to these different things. And so what if at one point in time, mostly these videos are anti-Zionist? Because I can't even talk about that, which I never really gave it any thought until someone presented it to me and said, take a look at this. And I'm talking about online. I went, wow, okay. As far as some of my searches, you know, they're there. Yeah, I don't understand because I haven't gone to these sites for quite a while. So that is a little bit weird. Yeah, I mean, kind of find that a little bit boring, actually. And not something I visit maybe every few weeks just to see what's up. But the reason why I visited that site, because whoever's out there knows what the hell I'm talking about, is because the man went to college, went to a university and got his PhD in Russia/Ukraine and lived there for a while and has many friends there. And I thought it was interesting to get an alternative perspective on what's going on, which I think is important, because if you don't, you're going to become one of the cult brainwashed people out there. Leaked videos reveal patriotic education of children. That's what's happening here. So what's happening right now in the U.S. is the tide's turning. These shootings, they're not even happening. Don't believe me? I have links on the Crazy Seat channel. Go to that. Enjoy. If you're just using a phone, you're not going to be able to get it because it's BitChute. They don't have an app. So I never thought I'd go down the road that I'm on right now. Believe me, My brother right now, is so freaked out because he knows he's missing something that he won't even talk to me, because we were um, keeping in touch while he's like doing stuff and whatnot. We were keeping in touch. I mean, I know what he's up to, but we were keeping in touch a lot, and he's just like 10 years behind in the news. And when I tried to send him links and send him messages and videos and things like that, it overwhelmed him because he doesn't want to believe that Fox News is lying to him. He wouldn't even visit me the summer of 2020 because he thought because he was white, he was going to be attacked, which was possible, but he's behaving in a way that's just sort of ridiculous. And his friends, oh my God, they're even worse. Former law enforcement, oh my God. And all I can say is his friends that are in former law enforcement, if that's what our law enforcement is if that's what a detective is, holy shit, we're in trouble. Yeah. They're just sort of trained in a mindset to, I just feel like I've been trying to do searches on him, and I feel as though he's got to have a domestic abuse out there somewhere with all these women he's married and all the people and all the baggage and all the suing that these women have sued him and shit. There's got to be something out there, but it's covered. It's been covered. All right, so let's go back to revelation of the method. Okay, let's do this. This is recent. Let's see if we can find it. CIA Director William Casey is reputed to have said to Ronald Reagan, "We'll know our disinformation is complete when everything the American public believes is false." Huh? Oh, okay, I get it. Well, fast forward 30 years and there's no piece of fiction the masses will not swallow. From woke to CV to the war, and people no longer make their own ideological pilgrimages to the truth. The truth is served oven ready by their political betters. Nowadays, there's little distinction between the two hemispheres, reality and illusion. It's not so much that people have been robbed of their ability to decipher between these two. It's the facts that have been reoriented into fiction and fiction into facts. It's a degradation of epistemology. This epistemology so momentous. I'm sorry, guys. Epistemology. It doesn't make sense. Epistemology. There we go. So momentous. I apologize that I'm just nervous that people don't even know that they don't know that they don't know what's happening. People don't even know that they don't know that they don't know what's happening. To quote one former anarchist, in the grand scheme of things, humanity has perjured themselves. Sorry about that. And life, as we know it, has morphed into a sort of science fiction soap opera with few common ancestors to reality. Even right-thinking folks, I hate the word folk, require the equivalent of a cerebral chainsaw to hollow out the slew of implausible narratives into something remotely resembling reality. It goes beyond fiction to predictive programming. They're not just deceiving you, they're showing you that you're deceiving you. And that is what I believe happened when Tom looked in the camera. No, I don't believe he had a stroke. I'm going to go back to this article. I'm going to bookmark this one. Okay. Yeah, this is good. Actually, I think I'm going to put this one on my Tumblr. So again, this is just, I am trying to spread truth. I'm not trying to get clicks. I'm not trying to do anything like that. I'm just hoping that what this does for me is it helps me to be better at my everyday life, which is essentially, please read this, okay? Which is why does this always happen? I don't want to print it. Okay, sorry. Okay. Please read this. This is such a good article. Really good article. Now, I've got a few people that are finally reblogging some of my stuff. And by the way, if you don't agree with me, you're not going to like my blog. Then you'd just be trolling me. All right. So, there we go. Let's go back here. All right. So I'm going to go over the outline. You know what? Maybe I'll just write it down. Here's the question. If someone went on YouTube, if I sat here and said, you know what? I'm sitting in my apartment right next to famous person so-and-so, and I think what I'm going to do is hang on to my lease, and then what I'll do is, I'll Airbnb out my apartment so that people can come from all over and see if they can catch a glimpse of my neighbor who happens to be famous or a member of the British royal family. That's stalking. And believe me, I am no fan of Doria or Meghan. But I've got to, I'm between what's right and wrong. That, my friends, is wrong. So then let's look at this. So how do the intelligence services spook people, scare people? So, agencies. How do the intelligence agencies? Okay, so like in what I do for a living or different career paths I've taken, how covert agents infiltrate. No, that's not what I want. Top myths, which means they're probably all right, huh? The U.S. intelligence community is bigger than ever. So, what is your IQ? And if you just say, "Oh, you're wrong. Stop posting this shit." Oh, give me a reason. Because Lady C put it up on her site. I like Lady C. But she has a business to run, and she has openly stated what a good man Thomas Markle is, but no, he won't be here. And I really would love to do a show with him. I'd love to do this, but he won't be here. Okay, so then I have to ask you this. Lady C is on television all the time. Why wouldn't she knows? Okay, here's the deal. She's monetized her site. Why? Give me, for a woman that monetizes her site, that's trying to bring business into her castle, that fully supports and loves and thinks, oh, he's such a good man, he's such a great guy. You want to know who's a good man and a great guy? It was my dad. Everybody liked him. He was so much fun. Why do you think Tom Markle is a great guy? What? Because you think that, or he's saying that he's been abused by his daughter. His daughter makes no comment or no reply, right? Some dumb the whole letter thing, let's forget that. Let's set that aside. That is just a big hoax thing too. So you believe all that. And you believe that she was purposely trying to target him. No, I don't know. There's a reason why he's not going to the UK. Here's another question. Yeah, okay, so what I was saying is, why doesn't Lady C, why wouldn't she, if what she needs is money, If what she needs is money to keep up her castle, which you know she got a COVID kickback, I'm just guessing. Businesses like that host events that were banned, you bet they can come in and get a grant. Well, they could in the US. Because I live in an area where I happen to know for a fact by reading a condo association bulletin that they somehow managed, one of the attorneys that's on the board of directors of the condo managed to somehow go to the federal government and get a COVID grant for the condo I live in. I'm like, oh God. And they use that for operating expenses for the year, and so I believe somebody lined their pockets with it, quite frankly. It wasn't talked about. It was just a quick sentence. So-and-so got a grant from the government. I'm like, what? For what? You know, because people come from whatever. You get my drift? It's just too weird. And then I'm thinking to myself, why hasn't someone called the hospital to get flowers to him or something? Why haven't we been told exactly where he is, exactly what happened? Why was there only that little bit of footage? Why wasn't there more? How do you move someone like that? When they were trying to move my dad, he wasn't heavy, but he was tall. I mean, he was down to like 153 pounds, but he was 6 feet tall. You know, he was ill. He probably could have gotten up, but they just decided to move him from the stretcher to the bed. So they had a pull sheet. Why didn't how did Tom get onto that stretcher? Did someone lift him, or did he do it on his own accord? If so, would that be considered a massive stroke where he can't do anything from 6 months to a year? The guy creeped out the British royal family. He creeped them out. Wouldn't you be creeped out and pissed off? I don't care how much you hate Sparkles. If someone is openly fucking with you like that, all the interviews he's given, it's just too weird. All right. How the government uses fear to control, reforming the U.S. intelligence community, 17 agencies, 17. Oh, I thought there were only 16 now. District organizations, each operating under its own. So someone, we have Five Eyes Intelligence, which is intelligence sharing between Great Britain, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada, right? US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and there's another one in there somewhere. Australia, New Zealand, and what's the other one? There's 5. It's called Five Eyes. I don't know why. I forgot. I guess I'm just frustrated, I guess. Countries. Oh, no. Mm-mm. Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the UK, and the US. Okay, I guess I just forgot the United Kingdom, which is a big one. So this is a surveillance alliance. And you can go from one court to the other in different countries and just say, although he's in Mexico, so maybe they caught him when he crossed the border. I mean, you've got border security there. You have to show your passport. They're going to know. They probably barcoded or put it into some database, and they know exactly where this dude is. He's a big lib, hates the United States, leaves it, but supports the Queen of England. That's a new one. But he raised Meghan, and Meghan didn't know who the royal family is. But now he's saying his whole entire family supports and loves the Queen. That's another thing. How does that work? How does it work that Meghan didn't know anything about the royal family, But in one of Tom's latest videos, he stated that he supports the Queen and he wants the Queen to know, and he supports the Queen, honors the Queen, loves the Queen, is praying for the Queen. But then we find out that Meghan states that she didn't even know who the Queen was and has no knowledge of the British royal family at all. But Tom has pictures of the Queen in his living room, or it looked like he was in a hotel with really ugly drapes. Oh, I didn't look like a home to me. That looked like a hotel. And then, to post pictures of the house next door to Doria. You guys, that's just wrong. So if you can't put that in your mind and you trust Dan Wootton, who seems he's just too dramatic. And that is another thing. Read some books and find out how the media brainwashes you. That's very important. There's a book called Biased. It's very old. I forgot the name of the book. I forgot the name of this dude. No, not Jennifer. There's another guy. Let's just say Bias. Oh, of course, that's probably a race book, right? Bias book. Book by former reporter. There's a guy out there. He's on TV a lot. Bernard Goldberg, right here. A CBS insider exposes how the media distort the news. Now, this book is from like the 90s. I lent it to someone. They never gave it back. So is that Cheryl Atkinson? Yeah. So once you read this book, all of a sudden, every time you listen to the news, you're going to notice certain words like worryingly suffered a stroke. He didn't suffer a stroke. He worryingly suffered a major stroke. But then we see, and then Samantha comes on and and then what? Oh, he's okay. I'm just innocent. So, okay, Cheryl Atkinson right here. She's a good one. My fight for truth against the forces of obstruction, intimidation, and harassment in Obama's Washington. Okay, who's running the country now? His vice president? Supposedly he's not. What happens? Oh, God, okay. So anyway, I don't know how long I'm going to keep this up. So, okay.